Conservative Congress on Family sharply divides Italy. Verona, Italy. Verona, the city of Romeo and Juliet, was the backdrop for a culture clash Saturday, as it hosted both a conservative Congress on family values and a march by civic groups who denounced the event as a movement to limit LGBT and women's rights. The World Congress of Families, which runs through Sunday, revealed yet another rift in Italy's governing coalition, as well as providing a platform for right-wing extremists seeking to reopen the debate over abortion, which was legalized in Italy in 1978. Tens of thousands of demonstrators marched festively through Verona, which besides being the literary backdrop for Shakespeare's Tale of Doomed Love, is also the first Italian city to identify as pro. Italy's far-right Forza Nuova party, while not an official participant at the Congress, used the Congress as a backdrop to announce plans to seek a referendum to make abortion illegal. Two previous efforts. Interior Minister Matteo Salvini, a featured speaker Saturday at the Congress, said legalized abortion and divorce were not up for revision by Italy's populist government. But the leader of the Salvini was received with shouts of admiration, sprinkled with cries of shame, in Verona, a city long governed by Salvini's right-wing, anti-migrant League party. Demonstrators but the divorced minister, whose two children have different mothers, presented a platform that in some respects was more liberal than many speakers at the Congress. While supporting League, Salvini was critical of extremist Islam's views of women, saying there. Salvini called for putting children at the center of family policies, and said Italy needed to accelerate adoption for some 30,000 children now living in institutions. But gay and lesbian academics and political liberals came out against the Congress, while a coalition of 30 civic organizations collected 147,000 signatures to pressure unsuccessfully the regions of Veneto and neighboring Friuli Venezia Giulia and the city of Verona to withdraw their sponsorship of the event. Facing political pressure, Italian Premier Giuseppe Conte office did withdraw its support. Even the Vatican. Joseph Grabowski, spokesman for the International Organization for the Family that organizes the Congress, said the event was non-denominational and without political affiliation. Speakers included we. The IOF promotes families made up of married heterosexual men and women and their children. The Southern Poverty Law Center has identified the World Congress of Families as an anti-LGBT hate group that works to ensure. Across Verona, a coalition of civic groups gathered as a counterbalance to the World Congress for Families. Yuri Guaiana, a spokesman for the LGBT rights group All Out, said Italy is a natural target for such an organization. He noted that Italy.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.